The house is guarded by certain guardians, and there are 4 orders of guardian. This is the first, the snakes of the 4 directions, and it's a beautiful sand painting or pollen painting illustrating the mode in which the painting is used. It's along this path that the boy being initiated into warrior consciousness walks, and then he kneels here at these 2 crosses with his head over this center here, on which there is placed a basket full of yucca suds, and there is a ceremonial washing that takes place. And now the next ones are going to give you the same order of 4 guardians. These are the 4 bear guardians. And now we come to the 4 thunder guardians. And now we come to the 4 wind guardians. And now we come to the house of the boy's father, the sun. As you can see, the house itself is a sort of microcosm. It is a small reproduction of the complete universe. The colors of the 4 directions are there round about, and it sits, as it were, in that place where sea and sky, as it were, come together. The horse on which the sun rides is there standing, and in front of it you see the crosses where the boy's footsteps have been as they approach the house of the sun. Behind the house of the sun, behind the horse there, is the sun's daughter, who is the half-sister of the 2 boys. Well, the boys arrive, and the sun's wife is there, who is not their mother, you understand, and she says, "Well, who are you?" And these 2 boys say, "We are the sons of the sun, and we've come to our father." And she says, "Oh, you are you? Well, that's very interesting." She says, "Well, when he comes home, he's going to be very, very angry, and I think we'd better protect you." So she and the daughter wrapped the boys in clouds of the 4 colors and stowed them up over the door in a shelf that runs up there. Well, of course, evening comes, and the son comes home riding on his horse. And on his left arm is the shield of the sun, the radiant shield of the sun. He dismounts from his horse, comes into the house, hangs the shield up on the wall, and the text, the story says, the shield went claw, 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 claw. And then the son turns to his wife and he said, "Who were those 2 young men that came in here?" She said, "Well, you tell me you behave yourself when you go around the world. These 2 young men say they're your sons." "Oh," he says, "they do they? Well, I'll see to that." So he goes searching around and, of course, finds them wrapped in the clouds of the 4 colors, and he takes them down, and he gives them a test. Now, this is a very favorite motif in American Plains and North American Indian folk tales, where the boys are tested. Sometimes it's the man who's to be their father-in-law, and in this case, it's their father. He throws them against flints of the 4 colors in the 4 directions. He gives them poison tobacco to smoke. He puts them in a sweat lodge and heats it up so as to burn them to death, boil them to death. But none of the trials defeats them because they hold the feather close to them. Of course, we don't know how 2 boys hold 1 feather, but this is the way mythological things work. And they recite the proper protecting charms, and they survive. And the son says, "Well, you are my sons, and I'm proud of you." So he now takes them into the next room. He says, "Come into the next room. You've survived your trials, and now I'm going to initiate you, tell you your true names, and give you your true color." Now remember, as we've seen these boys coming along, each of them was black. They were both black, and they were not as tall as they are here. The son puts them on 2 buffalo robes, a black robe for the killer of enemies boy, and a white for the other, for the child of the water. Here they stand now, having been told their true names. They receive their true height and their true colors. Here are rainbow flints coming from their heads, power. This is a male flint knife and a male rattle. This is a female and a female rattle. So this boy represents the female principle, the active aspect of the female principle. And now they have their true names, their proper names, and their proper life. And they are so powerful that they now become 4. That's to say, each of them splits into 2. They have such power. And they are of this order. Here is the second part of the first boy, killer of enemies. And here, born from the northern mountain. And here is the child of the water. And here is born underground as his shadow aspect, you might say. So this gives you a sense of the quality of the figures of myth. What they represent are the dynamics of life energy. And where there's a great deal of that life energy, we have a multiple manifestation. And then where it subsides, we have the manifestation withdrawing its force. And so now, in their full power, they leave the house of the sun with the sun's approval, the sun being ready to give them the necessary weapons, and they go back across the waters. That is the main motif in all of these quest traditions, visionary traditions and quest traditions. One leaves the domain of the society. One passes through great dangers and trials. One comes to the ultimate goal of the quest, in this case, the energy power of life itself in the energy of the sun. From there, one receives a boon of some kind to bring back to the world for the restoration of the world, which needs this power. And then the hero comes back. And now comes the problem of the return threshold, the return journey.